And welcome to another exciting episode of Boitekanelo, a wellness show that focuses on the well-being of the mind, body, and soul. If you're new to the show, don't forget to like, subscribe, and most definitely click on the bell down below. Don't forget to tell your friends to tell their friends that it's going down, and I'm holding the fort at tip.g_ on Instagram, www.boitekanelo.blogspot.com, and also on Facebook. There's also a page that's been constructed that's been turned into a wellness post. So please do stay tuned for all of that and all the adjustments that are being made to better help this channel progress and grow and become what it's aspired to be. So I have notes, I've taken notes. It's very important to take notes, and this is just like me running you guys through what the show will be focusing on. So we're going to be focusing a lot on mental health, mental wellness, and well-being. Well, simply because mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. So we're going to get into those and really delve into what they mean and the importance that they play, in terms of like helping you function as a better human being, as a better being, as a soul, as whatever that you recognize yourself as a body, as a spirit in a body in a spirit, however you would construct life as. This is just what the focus will be on. So I wrote here, so this is the research I did, and please don't have a problem with me as I refer to my notes and tell you guys, because I feel like they're really serious concepts that I've noted down and that I just want us to break down and just, simplify. Mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. I believe and understand that we all understand what those three words mean. Your emotional well-being, your psychological well-being, and your social well-being. Firstly, with your emotions. So emotions are your feelings and what you feel most of the time. So if you can master that, you can master your psychological aspect, which is what you always think. So you feel, think, and then act. Hence we say mind, body, and soul. But it's soul, body, soul, mind, and body. But you know how it goes. It's how we understand it, right? So with the psychological well-being is how you think and how you operate as a human being, and how you're not disturbed by a lot of things that can actually disturb you and your wellness. And then your social well-being, of course, being how you interact with the world, the outside world, factors that are beyond your body, factors that are out of your body. That's the whole social aspect of it. How you relate to your family, how you relate to your friends, how you relate to strangers, how you relate to the elderly, just that whole understanding of how you relate. Okay, cool. I hope we're still following well and we understand, right? And then here is another note that says, it also helps determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make healthy choices. It's what actually simplifies what I had just explained, in terms of like stress is how you think, right? How you relate to others is your social, and healthy choices being your how you think, which is your psychological. I don't like doing these things, somebody notes and whatnot, because it boggles up my mind. I like free flow. So please forgive me, and if this is also wrong, tell me in time so we can adjust and see how we do it, right? Sharp. And then here's a note, ne? Oh, and then it says, every stage in our lives is very dependent on mental health. as in like from childhood to adulthood, so like each and every stage of your life is really dependent on your mental health. So because basically without your mental health you won't be able to flourish, which is another concept and term that we'll get to as we move with this whole wellness program and just this process of teaching and learning, because I'm also relearning these things. It's shocking how you can see something and not have the words for it, and then when you learn about it you relive that moment, and when you teach it again you relive those other moments again. So it's really mind-boggling, and I'll get the hang of it. I'm not used to it, it's not how I do things, but we're dealing with facts, we're dealing with really serious concepts of things here, and I can't be taking them for a ride. I have to respect you, I have to respect everyone who's playing a role, everyone who has to learn. I cannot fail you. Of all people, I can fail everyone, but not you at least, bravo. Yeah. And then it says, there's a huge difference between, and it says here that, where is that note? There's a huge difference between mental illness and poor mental health. So I need to be at Mavato Stadium tomorrow. I'm in Joburg. How am I gonna get there? Let me just switch off my data and continue with my work. And the note just says, there's a huge difference between mental illness and poor mental health. A person can experience mental illness and still experience periods of positive vibes and positive energies, and a person can still have mental illness and be, a person can have good mental health, positive mental health, and still experience mental illness. It doesn't mean when you're happy you're not going to experience mental illness. It doesn't mean when you have mental illness you're not going to experience positive or good mental health. These two are very codependent on how your neural structures are based and are functioning. And then we're going to get to the importance of mental health. Excuse. Mental and physical health are equally important components of overall health. So you need both physical wellness and mental wellness to have like a positive well-being. For example, depression increases the risk of many types of physical health problems, while chronic illnesses also do come along with can increase the risk of mental illness. For example, if you're diagnosed with, let's say, sugar diabetes, or probably cancer or HIV, or like a life-threatening chronic illness, it's gonna stress you out, it's gonna depress you, it's gonna make you feel like you're gonna die very soon. So just the thought of death alone, like we said earlier, it's depression, it's stress, it's anxiety, it's paranoia. You develop all these other things that you've never developed before, because it's trauma at the end of the day. It's instant, you just hear about it there and then, and it disturbs your mental, right? And what causes mental illness? We have 5 points, and I'm gonna break them down as we go through them. The first one says adverse life experiences such as trauma or a history of abuse. With such, maybe you got exposed to certain things at a very young age that you're not supposed to be exposed to by that age. And then history of abuse, maybe you grew up being beaten up at home, you grew up not having this normal structure of a family, and you're always overlooked, always, not taken into consideration, always not, doing the right things like the other kids would. Right, and it says experiences to other ongoing chronic medical conditions such as cancer or diabetes. That one I think I explained when I did that example. And yeah, biological factors or chemical imbalances in the brain. With biological factors, we're gonna focus on maybe we're gonna have to start from, you know, pregnancy, your infancy, your childhood, teenagehood, and adulthood and old age. So all of those are affected by biological factors, because as you grow, your biology changes, your biology, you know, evolves and adapts to the times that you live in, you know, and also to help the body better navigate its environment. You understand what I'm trying to say? So those biological factors, for example, me, I was born prematurely. I was born 7 months. So when I was born, some of the things in my body were not developed. Things that were supposed to be developed in my mom's womb are not supposed to. I was born before they were developed, right? And some of them were not supposed to develop in the outside world, but they did. And that's a biological factor, you know. It's how it is. It happens that way. Some people are born with deficits, some people are born with syndromes, some people are born with illnesses that they have no choice over. You know, mistakes happen, mutations happen, a lot of things happen. People drink when they're pregnant, people take drugs when they're pregnant, people dope, and people do a lot of things when they're pregnant. And a lot of things also happen to people when they're pregnant. Some people fall pregnant and not do those things, but the environments they're in would toxicate, you know, their being, their wellness, their maneuver throughout the whole situation. Right. And then when it comes to chemical imbalances in the brain produces chemicals, right? And also you must understand that we have 7 glands, and these 7 glands are the endocrine system according to the sciences. These 7 glands secrete hormones that balance the body. For example, the pancreas is responsible for your sugar levels in your body. If there's too much sugar, it converts the sugar into starch. If there's too much starch, the starch becomes sugar. You understand? We have adrenaline from the kidneys, which gives you that energy, that crack vibe that you have. And then we have your thoracic hormones. We have luteinizing hormones for those who go through menstruation and stuff. And just all those hormones, you know, when they are balanced, you then become balanced. If they are imbalanced, you then have what you call mental illness. So with the brain specifically, it has neurotransmitters. Those chemicals that are secreted by the brain are called neurotransmitters. We have dopamine, we have serotonin, we have melatonin, we have I just know the scientific codes, guys. So let me not get into them. Like as we go on and as I have time for explaining them, right? Sharp. And then it says use of alcohol, drugs, or substance abuse. So when you use drugs or alcohol or any other drugs or substances for elation, for euphoria, for passing time, for having fun, you disturb what we call your circadian rhythm. Your circadian rhythm is how your body functions with nature. When the sun is out, you wake up and you work. When it's dark, you sleep and recharge. So when you use drugs, you disturb that. And once that is disturbed, it means all the processes that your brain is supposed to, you know, manage are delayed, you know, so you might be slow, you might be faster than you're supposed to, you know. And you also, drugs and alcohol are very, you know, influential when it comes to wrong choices or poor choices, for lack of a better word. So yeah, that's it. And then feelings of loneliness or isolation, when you always feel like, oh, I'm alone, and then yeah, that's what fucks you up. And then there are many types of mental illnesses or disorders, and they can occur at the same time. Some can be short-lived while some are long-lasting.